today we are unpacking for leaders what it looks like to bring someone from being a guest at Crossroads Students to belonging at Crossroads Students. And I think this idea of like you're a guest when you when you first show up, right? And I would say like I would consider someone a guest at Crossroads Students the first like 5 to 7 times that they come, right? Like they're still figuring it out. They're still getting to know people. They're still trying to get into the rhythm. They're trying to understand what we're about. They don't know if they're all the way in or all the way out. And students kind of do different things. Like either they jump in head first and they fall totally in love, and then 3 months later we never see them again, or they're like kind of cautious, hanging on the back, not really sure what they want to do yet, don't know who they're going to connect with, and we can actually lose and miss the most people in that like 3 to 5 week window, right? Like they give it a chance and they give it another chance, but because we haven't connected with them, because nobody has taken the time to be with them, they haven't begun that transition from guest to belonging, and so they fade out and go somewhere else and try something else, or they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it's about that first connection.
Yeah.
And not that first connection, but that continued connection.
Yeah.
Because nobody is going to want to go somewhere where they don't feel like they know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And as leaders, we are the face of this whole ministry.
Yeah.
We are the people who they come in and they see us and they expect us to do something about.
Also, like making the students, as soon as they walk in the door, feel like they belong here. You know, like it may take a while for them to be like, oh, it may take a while for them to feel belong here, but like us, like just being like, how are you, and just talking like with the high energy and engagement, just having that be like, okay, like welcoming arms, and then sometimes grabbing another student who's been here for a while, just bringing them to them student, because I know a lot of times I'm like, I see a student sitting alone that I know is new, and I'll go to another student that's been here for a while, I'm like, go talk to that student. You know, like I can only do so much as a leader to make them feel belong here, but it's more important to them when it comes from another student.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important too for us leaders to connect with other leaders too, because if a student sees us interacting with another leader and they see like that community that we're building, it makes it a little bit easier for them then to make that community
mirror that community.
Yes, mirror that community. That's a great way to put that. So I feel like it's important as well that if a new leader was to join our community, that we show them the same energy and love that we would show a student, because those are the people who are going to be pouring into the students. So I think that it's important, either students, leaders, parents, whoever is in the building, that we're showing them that grace, that hospitality.
Yeah, and in the way of being a role model, not only to students, but to leaders, I feel like consistency is the main thing. Like, we need to show up every week with that passion in our eyes, with that fire in our hearts.
100%.
And a lot of that comes from what we do at home, what we do during the week, how we are poured into, and how we pour into ourselves. And you go.
Okay, like we were talking before about like connecting students with other students. Like a student is not going to stay because they really like their leader. I mean, like they value that. That's an important part of the decision that they make, but it's not their primary choice. It's the relationships they build with other students. And so like to kind of transition us a little bit, like we can think about like how do we intentionally integrate students into the life of our ministry, like the things that we do. So like we have teams that students can join, the Dream Team, the Go Team, the Serve Team, which all meet once a month after youth group, and getting students plugged in there and trying to intentionally build community that way. Leaders help with Bible studies in small groups.